Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're looking at what is arguably the biggest shift in technology since the smartphone, and that is the rise of agentic AI. Now, you've probably heard this term thrown around a lot lately, right? Sometimes it's mixed in with all this wild sci-fi hype about autonomous robots taking over the world, but look, we're going to strip all of that away today. We're going to completely demystify exactly what an AI agent is, how it actually works under the hood, and how you can use it right now to automate your daily workflows. Okay, let's dive into this.
So think about how you use artificial intelligence right now. You ask a chatbot a question and sure, it gives you a brilliant answer. But then what? Well, you still have to copy that text, paste it into an email, open up your project management tool, check your calendar, and literally execute all the actual work yourself. It's kind of like having a genius colleague who absolutely refuses to get out of their chair. You're the one doing all the manual labor to string those tasks together. That frustration, the endless copying, pasting, and prompting, that is exactly what Agentic AI is designed to solve. Here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, chatbots versus AI agents. Number 2, anatomy of an AI agent. Number 3, the agent loop. Number 4, real-world AI agents. And number 5, smart delegation and risks.
Section 1. Chatbots versus AI agents. Defining the difference.
The core difference here really boils down to outputs versus outcomes. Generative AI is just a capability. It creates content in response to a prompt. It's entirely reactive. You put a prompt in, you get text out, like, say, a drafted email. Actually, scratch that, it just gives you the raw text for an email. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is an entire system that uses that generative capability to actually take action. You give it a goal, and it gives you a finished outcome. So instead of just handing you the text for that email, an agentic system will proactively go search for your client's contact info, hit send on the email, log the whole interaction into your CRM, and even set a reminder on your calendar to follow up. It executes the whole shebang.
Let's quickly look at the formal definition. Agentic AI is artificial intelligence that pursues a goal on its own by planning, taking actions, using tools, and adjusting based on results, with little to no human intervention. So the crucial point is that word agency. We're shifting away from interacting with a static tool that just sits there waiting for your command, to actually delegating to an autonomous system, one that can navigate multiple, complex steps all on its own to cross the finish line.
There's this great quote from our sources that summarizes it perfectly. If a chatbot is someone who answers your question, an agent is someone who goes off and gets the job done. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift in our relationship with this tech. You stop treating the AI like some smart dictionary, and you start treating it like a highly competent colleague, someone you can comfortably hand a project over to and just say, hey, handle this for me.
Section 2. Anatomy of an AI agent. Looking under the hood.
Before we get into the tech, we really have to understand the importance of context. It's best explained by this CFO at coffee analogy. Imagine sitting down for coffee with a brilliant chief financial officer. If you ask them what you should do with your business, but you don't give them any access to your books, well, they can only give you generic textbook advice, right? Stuff like increase revenue and cut costs. Gee, thanks. But if you give them secure access to your accounting software and your sales data before the meeting, they can do real, highly specific work for you. An AI agent is exactly the same. Without persistent context about who you are, what your company does, and what your goals are, it's just guessing.
So, beyond context, an agent relies on 3 core building blocks. First up is the brain, which is basically the large language model, think a GPT or Claude, and that's doing all the reasoning and planning. Second is the memory, which holds the short-term context of whatever task it's doing right now, plus the long-term storage of your past preferences. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the third component, the hands. These are the tools and API connections that let the agent reach out and actually interact with other apps. Through standards like the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, the agent can literally click buttons, search the web, read files, and write code out in the real world. It's translating your plain English request into actual software actions.
Section 3. The agent loop explained. The secret sauce.
This loop is how agents get things done, and it runs in 4 distinct stages. Step 1, perceive. The agent takes in your goal and reads the current data. Step 2, plan. The model reasons through the problem and decides on the necessary steps to take. Step 3, act. The agent actually calls a tool, maybe it runs a web search or updates a spreadsheet. But Step 4 is where the absolute magic happens. Observe. The agent looks at the result of its own action. If a web page failed to load or the code it just wrote through an error, the agent actually catches it. It learns from the failure, like realizing, oops, I clicked the wrong button, it updates its plan and it tries again.
This self-correcting observe step is a complete game changer because it means the system is checking its own work before moving forward.
Section 4. Real-world AI agents. Delegation in practice.
Let's move to and see how this builds a completely different workflow in the real world. Just look at that first example. If your goal is to book a business trip, a standard chatbot is just going to spit out a few links to travel websites for you to click. But a connected agent, it executes the entire multi-step booking process. It checks your schedule, finds the cheapest flight using a search tool, verifies hotel availability, makes the bookings, pulls the confirmation numbers, and actively writes the itinerary directly into your Google Calendar. Boom, done. In the second example, instead of just giving you advice on how to audit a website, the agent physically crawls your sitemap, tests every single link, catches the timeouts, and generates a finalized, neat list of broken URLs for you to fix. It's literally doing the heavy lifting for you.
Section 5. Smart delegation and risks. The honest limitations.
Okay, as amazing as this sounds, we do have to ground this in reality for a minute. Because agents can act autonomously across multiple systems, their mistakes carry real, tangible consequences. It is absolutely vital to remember that these are not flawless sci-fi robots. So, here are the honest limitations. First up, hallucinations. The underlying models can still confidently invent facts, but now they might actually act on those false facts. Scary, right? Second, infinite loops. If you don't set a hard stop rule, a confused agent might retry a failed step endlessly. You could wake up to a massive cloud computing bill. Third, security risks. Techniques like prompt injection could trick an agent into following malicious instructions hidden on a random web page it scanned. And finally, overtrusting. Letting an agent run entirely without human oversight? Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
So to protect yourself, you absolutely must engineer a human-in-the-loop system. You've got to treat a new AI agent kind of like an eager but very inexperienced intern. I mean, you wouldn't hand a new intern the corporate credit card on day one, would you? Of course not. Always start by giving your agents read-only permissions. Explicitly block any irreversible actions, like the ability to delete files, execute payments, or send mass emails. The agent should totally be allowed to draft the email, update the report, or prep the invoice, but a human must remain the final checkpoint who actually clicks approve and send. Implementing strict security and sensible boundaries, that's what makes agents incredibly useful instead of incredibly dangerous.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today. We moved from the reactive, prompt-in, text-out nature of chatbots all the way to the proactive, tool-wielding power of AI agents. We've seen how they plan, act, and observe their way to achieving real goals, provided you manage their context and securely limit their permissions, of course. The shift from just chatting with AI to truly delegating to AI is officially here. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought. Take a hard look at your daily workflow today. What is the one tedious, repetitive, multi-step task you are finally ready to hand over to your new digital coworker? Thank you so much for watching this explainer, and happy building!
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more AI and technology content. Thanks for watching.